Hello everyone, my name is 𝐄𝐍𝐿. I'm 16 years old and today it's my pleasure to be one of the finalist person in this competition. And today I'm very happy to be here to tell you about hazards of peer pressure. Now let's get started. Our presentation is divided into 3 parts. First one, I will tell you about what is peer pressure and some signs of it. Next, I will tell you about the reality of peer pressure. And finally, I will give you some solutions to have you understand more about this topic. Now, let's get started with number 1. What is peer pressure? Peer pressure is understood as psychological pressure that occurs against members of the same peer group. It can happen to anyone, from adults to children, from individuals to organizations. However, peer pressure is said to have the most impact on children and adolescents who not cognitively mature enough and are easily influenced by environmental factors. For example, we can choose where to work. If we don't like it, we can get another job. But kids cannot do that. If they don't like school, are being bullied, teacher doesn't like them, they are stuck with this. Or we choose our friends, have a disagreement with a friend, sad. But we move on and can make new ones. Never see that former friend again. But kids cannot do that. If they have a blow up at school, they still see that person every day at school, get ostracized from a group of former friends. They still see them every day at school where they cannot sit with them at lunch or play with them at recess or get chosen for a team. And here are some most common signs of peer pressure. Let's see. First, cheating to achieve high results. Inferiority and guilt if you are not like everyone else. Envy and jealousies of those who are better than you. Do not dare to express personal preferences and opinions in front of the majority. Tired and exhausted from studying, practicing, and working too much. To know why, please pay attention to my screen with number 2, reality. There are many reasons of peer pressure, such as social networks, living environments, schools, families, friends. But today, I will analyze a quote that, in my opinion, is very important and has a great impact on peer pressure at student age. Parents. The current situation of students being pressured to study from their parents happens frequently and is no longer particularly new in this era. Rapidly changing social times lead to increasingly high requirements for educational developments, so the pressure to study is increasing. Parents will expect their children to achieve great achievements when they grow up. Therefore, they always work hard to create for their children a good foundation and the healthiest learning environment for their children. Getting good scores, chasing achievements, and comparing with classmates, you intentionally drag down parent expectations, losing their child patience and interest in learning. That puts pressure on students as well as loses the internet nature of education. So, will achieving high results really help their children develop well in the future? Or is it just a tool for them to feel proud, to show up to their friends, or achieve what themselves want? Will high results really make child's future life successful and satisfying? Or achieve high results help parents feel happy? But does their child feel happy about it? many people who try to study just because their parents want to and gradually have had no dreams for themselves in the future. These questions make learning unintentionally lose the definition of education. Education is about raising people to become better and more perfect. Not chasing achievements doesn't mean that students don't need to study to get high score, but rather guides them to understand the nature and the meaning of learning. Why are there students who are studying a lot of subjects and knowledge are still excited and happy? That's just because they know and they understand the meaning of education, as well as their parents communicate to them about learning. For students with poor grades, boredom, parents always blame their laziness, intelligence, and always ask them to work harder and change. So, is it the student's fault or is it the parents who have to change? To know the solution of this peer pressure, let's move on to the final part, solutions. Parents should change the way they communicate with their children, changing their perception that learning is about educating people. Not every child, but parents need to go to school to better understand their children, education, and social awareness. Education is not boring, but the way of conveying it and the method of conveying it to children to understand is what makes them bored. Change methods, change thinking, education combines interest and patience. Instead of comparing our children with other children or compare their achievements, we need to look at our children's own development compared to before. So, let's see what your children have achieved to support them in the future. Each student will have different characteristics and personalities, so parents need to use different methods. The teaching methods for good students doesn't mean the correct teaching method. So, according to parents, what is the appropriate learning method for their children? And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
ZELDA English, giỏi tiếng Anh, tấm hộ chiếu toàn cầu.